If you carry a wallet or a purse, you need to hear this right now because scammers just pulled off one of the biggest scams of 2025.
By the time it was over, thousands had vanished from her bank account and her daughter's.
We're also going to talk about another scam, and this time they drug you first.
Two men scammed her and got away with $11,000 from her bank account.
Mary now believes she was drugged.
One after another, people commented the same thing had happened to them or their loved one.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I know it's a tough truth, but scammers are constantly finding new and devious ways to steal our hard-earned money, okay? So now today we're going to shine a light on some of the most concerning scams that's happening right now, okay? Now our goal is simple. We want you to be prepared and not surprised. Scam number one, the wallet scam. Now let's start off with a truly upsetting story about a woman who was drugged and lost over $11,000.
Once I turned around, the first guy was right in the front of me.
An 82-year-old Orange County woman claims two men scammed her and got away with $11,000 from her bank account.
It was terrible. It was terrible. And it bothered me to this day, and I can't sleep sometime at night.
Mary Brown said the men approached her outside a Home Depot on West Colonial Drive with a wild story about finding a wallet full of cash.
Before she knew it, the men had actually convinced her to drive away from the store with them in the passenger seats. She told Action 9 consumer investigator Jeff Deal she believes the men drugged her.
Well, she described it as an out-of-body experience. She felt like these men were controlling her. For some reason, she had no problem giving over all of that cash and even giving over the rings off her fingers.
The other guy was sitting right here in the car. He never did get out.
He just stayed in there the whole time while you were in the bank?
The whole time.
Retelling the story for Mary Brown isn't easy, but for her, it's important.
I want everybody to know that these people are out there and they're taking advantage of it.
By these people, she means two older men in their 60s or 70s who approached her outside this Home Depot on West Colonial Drive. She just loaded her trunk with mulch.
Once I turned around, the first guy was right in the front of me.
He had a wallet, claimed another man dropped it and then took off from the parking lot, ranting and raving. A moment later, a second man joined the conversation, claiming he too saw that. The three of them took a quick peek inside the wallet.
And he opened just a little bit. He said, "Oh my God, this is $62,000." And it had a little note in there, $62,000.
Mary suggested they turn it in to Home Depot. But the men convinced her all three of them should divvy up the money. They said the sheriff's office would hold on to it for 90 days, then they would never see it again.
And that's when they got in my car. You know, a man in the front and a man in the back, and I never seen these people before. That's something I would never do in my life.
So they drove from the Home Depot to the Vision Works nearby, which is this building right over here, to get away from the prying eyes of Home Depot's surveillance cameras. The men convinced Mary they each needed to add money to the pot so they could split it up evenly. Mary's bank was just up the road.
So this man sitting in my car with me, he said, "How much money you got?"
It didn't take long before Mary was in and out of the Truist Bank with $11,000 in cash. The entire time, she felt everything was okay.
Were you scared when they went in the car with you?
No, I was not.
She even had no problem handing over the rings off her fingers just before the men left, promising to be right back to divide up the money.
I never seen him again. So I was sitting in my car, and that's when it hit me. "You've been taken."
Mary now believes she was drugged. Why wasn't she scared? Why did she trust these strangers, allow them in her car, and give them all that cash?
Now think about that for a moment. Someone could easily approach you with a seemingly good intention, only to leave you vulnerable and financially devastated. Sadly, Mary's experience isn't unique. Other news reports detail similar wallet scams, where victims, often older adults, are tricked into handing over large sums of their own money. This is exactly why we tell people to stay on top of their credit. We've put together a free credit guide to help you understand your credit score, navigate credit reports, and build a strong financial foundation so you can always stay on top of this. To download on any device, scan this QR code or click the link in the description below. Now let's go into scam number 2. The simple yet effective money distraction. This is a scam that relies on a simple distraction but can have serious financial consequences. Watch how they can drain your bank account in minutes.
Your lucky day. You're so lucky. You're full of luck. It's your lucky day.
No, it wasn't Sarah's lucky day. It was a setup for a classic $20 distraction scam. And by the time it was over, thousands had vanished from her bank account and her daughter's.
And this is the Ralph's I usually come to.
On Wednesday, April 16th, Sarah went to Ralph's grocery store on Satakoy Street and Louise Avenue in Van Nuys. As she was using her debit card to pay, a stranger approached her and said
that I dropped $20, and I said, no, I don't think I did. And I was putting my PIN into the machine, and he came much closer to me and was kind of pushing the $20 into my wallet. You need to back up. Back off.
It all happened in a matter of seconds. Sarah kept insisting.
And I'm like, no, this is yours. This isn't mine.
As Sarah walked back to her car, the same man, now joined by a woman, followed her, again insisting she take the $20. They continued to invade her space.
I knew it wasn't mine. The reason I was getting cash back was because all I had was a couple dollars.
Sarah left the parking lot feeling weird about the encounter. She checked her wallet to see if maybe they had taken any of her cash. They hadn't, but something else was missing.
My heart sank because my debit card wasn't there.
Within 30 minutes, the scammers made multiple withdrawals at Chase Bank several miles away. In total, nearly $5,000 was taken from Sarah's account and her daughter Jennifer's too, because their accounts are linked.
My money is gone and I had just gotten paid, and I'm a teacher. I don't make a lot of money. I really don't. And what I make goes to the things I need, and we can't cover that right now. So it's hard to know that someone can take what you have so easily.
Jennifer filed a police report and shared the story online. She was stunned by the response. One after another, people commented the same thing had happened to them or their loved ones.
It's a huge violation, and I just feel, like I'm looking over my shoulder everywhere I go. It just is horrible.
It's a reminder to be extremely cautious when approached by strangers, no matter how friendly they may seem. Now, what's so concerning about this tactic is how easily it can happen to anyone, anywhere. As reported by MoneyWise, these distraction scams are becoming more prevalent in everyday locations like grocery stores, malls, and yes, even parking lots as well. This reminds you that you need to be constantly aware of your surroundings and protect your cards at all times. Now, if you like this video, you're most definitely going to like the next one. I'll see you there.